Can I ask you about Remain firstly? Is there any update on?
Yeah, hamstring injury, and we don't know yet the timeline. We need other advices from specialists, so we have to wait a little bit. Yeah.
I think on Saturday you knew straight away what the problem was. Is it a worry? Are you concerned it might be the end of the season?
Yeah, it's possible. So we'll have to make a decision about the situation, and it's not up to us really, because we need specific advices to make this decision.
The timing's not great. You've just got Lefay back, and you've got him back as a number 10 where you wanted to play him. With Mundell's injury, are you going to leave Lefay as a 10 because you've got other options now on the left with Leander and Tommy Watson?
Yeah. First of all, we have to protect Enzo. So the question mark for him is to improve gradually his shape and his connection with the team without being in a rush, I think. So first idea. And the second idea, we'll see, because we still have 6 games left in this league, so many experiences, many opportunities to test different options.
I say it's a luxury. I mean, in the sense it is to have no pressure on you because of the position you are in the table. So you can afford to rotate? You can afford to take your time in getting Lefay and other players back from injury?
Yeah, the core of the group is still small, but yeah, we are in a very good place, and we can manage a little bit more now. The rotation, the experiences we can give for some young players, and to rotate a little bit more the squad. Yeah, it's possible.
I know you're very hot on using analytics and statistics and all those sort of the tools that you've got available to you in football now. There's a piece in the paper at the weekend in the Sunday Times about Brentford, and they are sort of at the forefront of sort of the player side of data. But they're also apparently now employing PhD students to look at the physiological and biological data as well surrounding, I think, the issue of hamstring injuries.
Yeah.
And is that something you'd look at trying to find, because clearly, I think you've got, is it 5 players at the moment with hamstring issues?
Yes, it's not unusual in football because of the speed of the game now, the repetition of sprints, and the evolution of the game and the players as well. So, for example, for our wingers, many of them are like sprinters, so they are more vulnerable, I think, for this type of injuries. And at the same time, we still want to improve our way of working. And I think here in the building we have many people around the medicine, the research, and so on, who are connected with these researchers.
I think they say with Brentford, they're now doing due diligence on the individuals, the chances of players picking up hamstring injuries. It's interesting for Sunderland because you have some like Mundell and Ballard who seem to be vulnerable for hamstring injuries, yet other players like Joe, Hume, Roberts don't ever seem to pick up those sort of injuries.
I think Pat had this kind of injuries before, I think. And yeah, it's a question of different, it's always different situations and different profiles and different status as well with the work we have to do as a club to manage the overload. So I think sometimes it's possible because we have a full squad. Sometimes it's more difficult because of the players injured and the availability of some of them. And at the same time, I think we have a preparation in the gym. We have a connection with physios and so on, and the experience of the players as well. Then because they can manage their bodies, they can work on specific elements to improve the strength, how they can stretch their muscles and so on. So it's a combination of different elements at the end.
So another long trip, Norwich. Norwich on the back of the defeat at Plymouth as well, so no doubt expecting a bit of a backlash with Norwich being at home as well.
They are a good team, I think, and with really strong in possession, with many threats to score, to run in behind, to dribble, to play over, to play round. Many options in this team, and they struggle a bit because of different reasons. I think for every club it's still the same, but we'll have to manage a tough game, I think.
Interesting dynamic, because they probably do need to win if they're going to keep their playoff hopes alive. You win and you're in the playoffs, so something riding on it for both of you.
Yes, two different dynamic, and for us we still have to build this momentum. So every game, whatever the opponent, our squad, the team lineup, we want to be consistent, and the progress of the team is not linear. But I think, for example, at West Brom we showed very strong consistency, out of possession especially, and so this experience will be really interesting to keep learning, to keep pushing as a team, to keep improving different elements in our game.
3-game week, and we often talk about Pat Roberts, and is this a opportunity? Will you look to rest Pat, or see or change things?
We'll see tomorrow.
And you?
Regis, it seemed like Norwich, in some ways, did they sort of show the strength of the division? Because they're a team who would have fancied their chances of being in the promotion shake-up, and yet, with 6 games to go, they're barely hanging on to the playoff race. Does that, in a way, show what a strong division it is, that you have got teams like that who can't quite?
Yeah, sure, because they are really impressive in possession, to build up the game, to create imbalance in set attack, but in counter attack as well, with many threats, and we can see that it's not easy to be in this part of the table. So it shows obviously that this league is tough, and you have to be consistent in different phases throughout 46 games. So it's a tough league, and it shows that so far we are good with 75 points now. And so it shows that we have to keep this idea, to stay consistent, and to improve the different elements in our game to be competitive until the end.
Obviously, Tommy Watson is in the slightly unusual situation of we know where his future is. He didn't get on Saturday, but given the unfortunate news about Romain, I mean, he is a resource available to you between now and the end of the season, isn't he? So presumably, he is somebody very much in your thoughts.
Absolutely. So it was a decision connected just with the game, and the dynamic, the choices we have to make as a coach and as a staff. So he's available, he's connected with the team, he's a full player of Sunderland, and motivated to be promoted at the end of the season. So for me, no worries, and for the next stage of the season, Tommy will be a player of Sunderland until the end, and I'm really confident about using him as a left winger or right winger or in another position, I don't know, until the end of the season.
Just one about the situation. Obviously, you want to win every game. Obviously, you want to keep winning in case things change above you. And yet there is this slightly strange dynamic. What are you kind of hoping for from these games, this last group of games that you've got now?
Consistency, and I think the mindset was really positive at West Brom. The output, especially in possession, wasn't impressive, but we felt that we were a team with the desire to win, and I think this part of the season now is really connected with the mindset of the team. So for me, this is the main point, and if we can manage the minutes and the load of the core of the squad, it will be better, but we'll see.
A couple of 1-0 wins, which I know coaches usually love, a 1-0 win with a clean sheet. Earlier in the season, sometimes there was late goals being conceded. The fact that you haven't over these last couple of games, does that suggest a team that's growing, learning how to see out games?
Yeah, probably, and it shows as well that sometimes you can concede goals, and it doesn't mean that you are not able to manage the games. Just a question of sample, and sometimes you are lucky or unlucky. But at the same time, I think this team is getting more experience now, and they manage the game a little bit differently. With the referee, with the choices they can make for the restarts or the pressing and the set pieces as well. So minutes after minutes, experiences after experiences, I think we are growing.